Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a very cool piece. We're going to be looking at the new green Omega Seamaster Professional 300. Alright, so let's start. So this is the outer box that it comes in, or the shipping box I would say. You won't always get this, but my AD luckily ships this just so I get a little more extra to film. So here's the outer box for the watch box. Typical Omega fashion, you get the white box with the silver Omega lettering with the logo there. Good quality outer box. Now this is what I really love with Omega. You get this beautiful wood watch box, which looks extremely luxurious and very nice, especially for the price point. In here, you'll get the 3 cards in a very nice Omega leather wallet. There it is, and the operating instructions in there. So here is the very beautiful watch box. Now if you guys had Omegas previously, which are not too old but somewhat recent, you'll notice that this is actually the updated box. The previous box looked exactly like this, but it was a gloss finish. So this one is now a new matte finish, and I think it looks really nice. I mean, it's very modern, it stays with the times, as you'll see that wood even used in cars is mostly matte finished instead of the gloss finish, as the gloss is kind of seen as an older style and kind of outdated, even though, you know, some people still prefer the glossy wood, which there's nothing wrong with that. I still think it looks pretty nice too, but this is just a little more modern. You have this very nice button that you push right here to open the box. Go ahead and give that a push. There it is, guys, beautiful. And inside you'll have this leather application. That's the lining of the box with this nice chrome metal hinges. Leather in here too, stitched. Everything's very nice. And it even stays true to its old Omega roots by having this red outer lining. And that kind of shows that, you know, they're still paying attention to what they stood for before, which was the red boxes. And it's just a more luxurious touch on that, which is really nice. So this is the watch, guys. Very beautiful. Before we get into the watch, I want to show you a little more of the box. This new updated box has this flap that you can pull up. And this is actually a travel watch case, which is really nice. So you can stick your watch in there and you close it just like this. And then this buckles over, and very cool. Very nice leather as well. All right, guys, so this is the watch and it is spectacular. Here's the hang tag for anyone that wants to see. This is 5300. So this is with the green rubber strap. You can also get it with the traditional bracelet, and that one runs about $300 more at 5600. Very good price points that these are sitting at, especially relative to the other luxury divers that they're competing against. And here it is, guys. So this Seamaster is actually updated quite a bit from the other two, which I have. This is the 4th generation, believe it or not. There was another ceramic bezel one which came before this one that did not have the waves dial. So this is the updated one that came out in 2018. This particular green colorway came out just earlier this year or last year, and it is stunning. The first thing you'll notice off the bat is the red tip second hand and the red Seamaster writing on the logo is not there anymore. That is a change they brought only to the green version and the other special versions such as the ceramic dial, etc. But all the other standard Seamasters pretty much have that as a signifier, but this one does not. And I think the reason is they wanted to make this more of like a low-key diver. Maybe that's what their fans were going for as well, or their fans also wanted. You can just see the case, everything, the finishing on this is so beautiful. You get this polished and brushed surfaces, and they're all working very well together. That beautiful ceramic dial with the waves, just so iconic. The reason I skipped over the first ceramic Seamaster is because I actually prefer the waves on the dial. For some reason, that generation just didn't appeal to me that much. So this one actually spoke to me, especially in that green color. It's just something that's so unique. And you'll notice most of my watches are either special edition or limited edition because I like to have something that's different than the norm. There's very few general releases or normal watches which I actually go for, but this one, I believe the color alone was special enough for me to want, besides having just the regular blue one as well. So this one made me spring forward, even though it's another general release color, but just so beautiful. And this green strap really brings it alive. Some people hate the metal bracelet that it comes on. I don't have a problem with it, but I can see why people don't like it. I personally prefer the older bracelet versus the updated one. The green strap, or the rubber strap in general, is just a very nice addition to this watch. Really brings it out, really shows its color. The thing about this watch in particular is it's not too flashy like the Hulk with that really bright green. This is a more dull. I've seen the nickname Seaweed go around, and I can see why it's very dark green, but when the light hits it, it reminds me of Grand Seiko. It turns to a completely different watch. It's very vibrant and a very rich tone of green, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. And on the back, you can see the movement, beautiful movement that all the Seamasters have. Very nice. Rated at 300 meters, measuring about 42 millimeters, so it's a very nice fit. Helium escape valve. You know, the rest is just the standard. Very nice tang buckle, by the way. The rest is very standard Omega Seamaster with the date at 6 o'clock, which I love. Keeps the dial very symmetrical from 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And I actually have a blue Seamaster here, so you can kind of compare. As you can see, the blue is very vibrant and bright, and the green actually looks much darker and much more low-key. And just like the red red tip and the red Seamaster compared to the regular white font and no paint tip on the second hand for the green one. You can kind of see what I mean by a little more low-key approach or subtle approach versus the blue one or the black one. So very cool. And this is the bracelet that the Seamasters come on, and I actually really have no problem with the bracelet, but I know a lot of you guys are not fans of it because I understand it seems a little chunky, it doesn't taper, it's very flat, which is kind of more modern than the previous one, which was round. And there's the movement, very beautiful movement. Omega just makes amazing watches for the value. I mean, you're spending $5,000 and you're getting something that competes with a Rolex, which is double the price, if not more. In my opinion, I think you kind of get a more superior watch in terms of movement and technology with the Omegas, and the materials and craftsmanship is right on up there with Rolex. I would even argue the finishing of the movement and the display case and everything kind of gives it a little plus point against Rolex. So very nice watches, both of them actually, but the green is just something that's very unique and new from Omega, and I really like it. So all right, so these are the 3 different generations of Seamaster which I own, and I know it's kind of redundant having 3 of the same watch, but I think they're absolutely phenomenal and beautiful in their own right, so I kind of wanted each one. So you can see it starts with this one, which has the old Edda movement, which is what results in its super thinness. Then it moves on to this one, which got the first coaxial movement, and this was a upgraded Edda movement that Omega worked with and created their own coaxial movement, and it's a little thicker, but you'll see it comes with a little more luxuries versus the tool watch that the first one was. And you could see it with the longer hands, the polished logo, and also the surrounds of the markers and date window, which make it look a lot more luxurious. Then this one came out in 2018 and phenomenal. Just such a vibrant blue, all ceramic dial and bezel, very much like a 3D effect with the markers, and the waves are laser etched into the dial, and the date moved to 6 o'clock. It is a little thicker because it is an in-house developed coaxial movement, so you do get that. But you get a beautiful display case back, which the other 2 did not have. So I think it improved a lot to the point where this is a completely different watch, and each one of these represents a different generation of Omega, which I am very proud to own, and I think they're fantastic watches, if not my favorite watch, which I've just now come to admit. Even though I love many watches, I will say I might have a sweet spot for these. Absolutely beautiful. The waves dial, that's just the icing on the cake. Then of course you move on to this green one, and it's like they changed the game again. After the Bond Titanium, they come out with this, and it's another Seamaster variation, which I grew so fond of. So just absolutely beautiful and very unique, and a very huge bang for your buck in my opinion. All right, so let me get this on wrist and see how it fits. Here it is on wrist, guys, and absolutely beautiful. Fits perfectly. 6.5 inch wrist here, and plenty of extra space above and below. So you can see a little bit of the strap. You have a little bit of spacing between the edges there, so it doesn't look like it's too big or overpowering. And it's thick, but the way that it's shaped, it actually sits in your wrist pretty nicely, and it doesn't come off as thick as you'd expect. It actually fits very nice, and just absolutely phenomenal, guys. I love this, and the way that the color changes depending on the light makes it look absolutely phenomenal. So the green strap actually helps bring out the green color a lot. So even though it's really dark and it might come off as black, I think this is absolutely beautiful. In terms of pricing, I know right now it has a little bit of markup in the resale and in the gray market, but I do believe that these are eventually going to be available and mass produced to a very good quantity where everyone should be able to get one at a reasonable rate, if not even a discount. So hoping for that. Compared to my other watches, I feel like this one's a lot more subtle, and it actually would be a really nice summer watch because the color, even for fall or winter, it actually suits it really well. I mean, it's a perfect all-rounder. I would even consider dailying this, even though these 3 surprisingly have been getting most of my wear from my other watches so far, but I think it might be replaced with this one now. Absolutely beautiful. If you guys are considering getting a Submariner or any other diver, highly recommend checking this out. In my opinion, I think this is by far the best bang for your buck, and actually one of the highest quality divers, if not in the list as the highest quality diver that you can get for your money right now. Highly recommend this. Really cool watches. And you know what? I don't know what it is, but I was a huge Rolex fan before and I loved them, but lately these have really been catching my attention, and Omega's one of the brands that I've really fallen for, and I barely even wear Rolex, if not, you know, leave them in the watch box these days, because these just get so much more wear and they're so versatile, and I just feel like overall value and just aesthetic, if you can live with the skeleton hands and the helium escape valve, this is by far one of the greatest watches ever. All right guys, well, let me know what you guys think. Leave some comments below. All right, see you guys next time.